Hello, everyone. Welcome. Namo Myoho Renge Kyo. I'm so happy that you're here. Um, I don't know how to mark this occasion. This is the final Gosho that I have in my possession. I don't even know how many videos we've done so far. I know I've got a posting of, got a posting of over 300, over 350 videos on my podcast channel. Those aren't all Gosho, of course, but we got a bunch. Anyway, I think it's oddly fitting, although we're in September right now. But this final Gosho is a brief one called New Year's Gosho. Nichiren is thanking a woman for sending his gifts, him offerings to the Lotus Sutra, offerings to sustain him in his mission as votary of the Lotus Sutra at the beginning of the year. So I suppose that's why he called it New Year's Gongyo. But it's real handy, kind of a synopsis of the 10 worlds that's super straightforward. So as we close out the Gosho, it's kind of appropriate that we get this very fundamental teaching that derives from the Lotus Sutra, derives from the scholarship of Tendai Chiche. It's a component of the 3,000 realms in a single thought moment of life. The 10 worlds, which, as you know, are 100 worlds, because the 10 are within the 10. But let's read Nichiren's foray into very basic, peer into the concept of the 10 worlds, okay? New Year's Gosho. I have received 100 slabs of steamed rice cake and a basket of fruit. New Year's Day marks the first day, the first month of beginning of the year, and the start of spring. So it is in Japan. The New Year's in Japan, as you might already know, is sometime in February or something of that nature. So it's a little later in the year than it is here in the West. A person who celebrates this day will accumulate virtue and be loved by all, just as the moon becomes full gradually, moving from west to east, and as the sun shines more brightly, traveling from east to west. First of all, as to the question of where exactly hell and the Buddha exist, one sutra states that hell exists underground, and another sutra says that the Buddha is in the west. Closer examination, however, reveals that both exist in our 5-foot body. This must be true because hell is in the heart of a person who inwardly despises his father and disregards his mother. It is like the lotus seed, which contains both blossom and fruit. In the same way, the Buddha dwells within our hearts. Remember, heart, mind. For example, flint has the potential to produce fire, and gems have intrinsic value. We ordinary people can see neither our own eyelashes, which are so close, nor the heavens in the distance. Likewise, we do not see that the Buddha exists in our own hearts. You may question how it is that the Buddha can reside within us when our bodies, originating from our parents' sperm and blood, are the source of the 3 poisons and the seat of carnal desire. But repeated consideration assures us of the truth of this matter. The pure lotus flower blossoms out of the muddy pond. The fragrant sandalwood grows from the soil. The graceful cherry blossoms come forth from trees. The beautiful Yang Kue Fei was born of a woman of low station, and the moon rises from behind the mountains to shed light on them. Misfortune comes from one's mouth and ruins one, but fortune comes from one's heart and makes one worthy of respect. The sincerity of making offerings to the Lotus Sutra at the beginning of the new year is like cherry blossoms blooming from trees, a lotus unfolding in a pond, sandalwood leaves unfurling on the snow mountains, or the moon beginning to rise. Now Japan, in becoming an enemy of the Lotus Sutra, has invited misfortune from 1,000 miles away. In light of this, it is clear that those who now believe in the Lotus Sutra, or to take confidence in the Lotus Sutra, will gather fortune from 10,000 miles away. The shadow is cast by the form, and just as the shadow follows the form, misfortune will befall the country whose people are hostile to the Lotus Sutra, to Myoho Renge-kyo, to Buddha. Those who take confidence in the Lotus Sutra, on the other hand, are like the sandalwood with its fragrance. I will write to you again, Nichiren. So, it's a scant description, but it's quite a moralistic letter, don't you think? The key to it is attitude, intent. Is your attitude, and therefore that which colors all of your actions in thought, word, or deed, which carries with it intent, the attitude, intent. Attitude is like the pool, intent is like the swimming stroke, right? If in your inner thoughts, your inner mind, your human mind, you harbor the hot coals of anger, distrust, fear, greed, your actions will be manipulations, avarice, untrustworthy. So you will manifest in your life the fruit of those attitudes and intent. Even if you think you gain something temporarily, it will be poison, that fruit. It will only justify those negative energies. But even if you fail in your activities, if your attitude is, I want to create something life-affirming, something great, something that helps others, something that promotes from Buddha, our Buddha intention, our Buddha mind, attitude, then even if we seem to stumble, that stumbling still has good intent, good attitude. Of course, with our Buddha mind, we want to learn from our errors, but the errors in themselves aren't destructive if they're made without destructive energy. It's a conduct of life. And this is what Buddhism is. It is not mystical, magical, religious. Not in an organized, worshiping, mystical sense. Religious, if you can use one of the meanings of that word as meaning consistency, certainly it is that. But then so is your attitude and your intent. That's consistent. So Buddhism isn't about consistency. Consistency is part and parcel of being a human being, because being is consistency. The question is not about being. The question is about how do you being? What motivates your being? What is the inertia of your being? Is it based on negative things, attitudes that we'll never forget how we've been wronged, or we'll never see beyond the evil in this or the evil in that? Certainly we're surrounded by it. It is samsara. Life, the Four Noble Truths. Life is suffering. That's the first noble truth. Why is life suffering? Why is that the first truth? Because all life is based, certainly, on instantiation, and our evolution of instantiation to the capsule of a human mind, a human being, a human mind. The very formation of a human is based on attachments, right? When we talk about the energies that combine and amalgamate to instantiate vision consciousness, oral consciousness, touch consciousness, no matter how you dissect what it is to be a human being, let alone a human consciousness, it is an assemblage, isn't it? And the primary Buddhist cosmological, biological imperative is that all of that is energy married, combined, attached. This energy, this form of energy attaching with this form of energy becomes this form of energy, and that amalgam grows. It is the very basis of formations in life. The life process is a process of attachments where energies combine to manifest matter. This is basic quantum. Everything is quanta, but what is quanta? Quanta is of attachment, formation. Nothing is not empty. Empty is not nothing. It is quiescent, but energy always. Maybe you could visualize it as just this immense, unknowable field of a very quiet hum. The vibrations, if you will, of a hum. But see, even that has a detectability, right? So more quiescent than that, but always, always ready to amalgamate, to combine, fall apart, right? Arise, decay. What's the opposite of arise? It's just arise and decay. Arise, maybe you can perceive some instantiation, but even that is always an arising of its own and a decay of its own, just like a human life, right? In the big picture, you can see human beings popping as just these momentary instantiations. But if you stretch that timeline out so you can look at a lifetime of a human being, it too follows that same order. The pyramids are thousands of years old, but they're decaying. They will one day disappear. That is just the nature, the tendencies and conditions of things. Because things are an assemblage of things that come to, of matter that come together and then exist, and as they slowly decay and disappear. Well, what disappear? They disappear. The energy is still there. It's just no longer matter. There's an equation there. E, energy, equals mass times the speed of light. Well, the speed of light, just so you know, isn't about light or how fast it travels. The speed of light is a measurement. It's a mathematical measurement. So mass, in some quantity, derives from energy. Einstein knew it. And when mass decays, it decays not into zero, it decays into energy. It's called conservation of energy. And that's all we are. I just heard the little teacher in the back of my head go, so drop the attitude. Right? Just see it for what it is what Buddhists say. Don't drop it, just see it for what it is. And is it ameliorating your life or is it decaying your life? If it's decaying your life, then don't do that. It's like the old joke about the doctor, right? The guy goes into the doctor and says, doctor, it hurts when I do this. And the doctor says, well, don't do that. Right? Anyway, I'm just going to drone on and on here, but this was a very basic letter, so I'm being very basic. Buddhism is nothing mystical or magical. It's simply taking a good, honest look at how we're experiencing our lives. And while we're here, brief or not brief, right? We can make this time of human perception, samsara, be absolutely glorious, as it should be, because it's such a minute, precious opportunity. Look at it in the scale of the universe, which you can't even imagine. This tiny fragment of what the life process is. And you get to experience it? You get to know it? How amazing is that? There's truly nothing to fear, nothing to grieve, because all of it is so amazing. But even as we say that with our human mind, which is 1,000,000 times a second attached to things, even to words. But if we can just unglue ourselves a little by little, Namo Myoho Renge Kyo, Namo Myoho Renge Kyo, awaken my Buddha reality, my Buddha-ness, my Buddha mind. Let me live this human life with the perception of Buddha, unattached, uninfluenced by those attachments, those needs, those cravings. I understand they're there. I don't need to get rid of them. That's samsaric instantiation. That's what is allowing me, conversely, to have this amazing consciousness to understand what's going on. Wow. Be in the wow. That probably will follow me forever. But literally, that's what it is to be Buddhist. It's quite a challenge. right? To open that kind of a door in the mind that is uninfluenced by all of the intense cravings of formations in the human mind. Even to experience it for just a few moments is so, what's the word? There's an intense relief, but the relief is almost like an enveloping, the word love is so overused, and at the same time, wholly inadequate. But it is like an expansion that feels almost as though your body itself disintegrates, but your mind continues to exist. Words fail. Just do it. Namo Myoho Renge Kyo. And now I have to ponder, what will these videos do next? So I'm done with Goshos unless I find a new one. So I have talked about other teachings as well as other ideas, just contemporary ideas. What is the ego? How do we conduct ourselves in relationships? How does that work? How does Buddhism apply? The wisdom of Buddhism, right? How do we Buddha through life? There's a lot of questions, and I've answered to my abilities over the years, some 6 years ago or so when I started posting these videos, maybe 8 years ago, I don't remember. I may need to revisit a lot of those early ideas and concepts. But, I want to answer what you're dealing with today, what your struggles are. What do you want to know, need to know? Do you need me to talk about the 4 truths? Or do you need me to just dissect the 10 worlds? Maybe we haven't talked about those enough, or lately. Maybe they have a different meaning to you today than they did 10 years ago when I wrote about them. Or, some of my books are more than 2 decades old. So my thoughts have moved, shifted a little bit. I certainly would have different language to talk about the same things. Yeah, not all my books were conceived and written in the last month. Some of them are, I can remember one of them I wrote in the 90s. Oh my goodness. To me, that's not that long ago, but to many of you, you weren't even born yet. So if you see things in those things that pop up questions in your mind of, are you saying the same thing now as you used to say? Ask me. I'll straighten it out. I'm not above making mistakes. I'm just a guy, a human, just like you. I spend a lot of time, and I've been practicing a lot of time, to awaken my Buddha nature. And hopefully I'm more clear now than I used to be. I believe I am. I think that I am more clear. But then there's not a day goes by when I think, oh my goodness, how do I still have that stupidity in me? Right? I mean, it's samsara. You can't beat yourself up for it. Recognize it, work to change it, influence it in a better way, experience your life more grandly. That's what we're all trying to do. Be our best human until we're no longer human. No regrets, right? All right, so enough blah, blah, blah. Thank you. Thank you for your support. Thank you for being here. I can't wait until the next video. I'm looking forward to it, and I don't even know what it is yet. Okay? Take care of your health, and just try to be kind to yourself as well as your environment. And we'll see you soon. Bye for now. Hey, thank you for being here. Did you know there's a third way you can help support this channel? And it won't cost you a cent. Yep. If you are not able to be a patron on Patreon or use the PayPal me at .com at Sifu Sylvain because you don't have the financial fortune to help support this channel right now, you, as I say, always support this channel by watching, but you can also help us grow so that maybe one day we can get over 10,000 subscribers and YouTube will grace us with monetization. It's not a lot, but if you can make sure you're subscribed and share a video like a simple one, just go into the search criteria and type monk and you'll have a video that'll come up that's been up for years about what is a monk. You know, it's called monk, who, how, where, something like that. That might be a great introduction to somebody who doesn't understand what a monk is to begin with. It's a tool. Use this channel as a tool to help you with your bodhisattva practice, and share a video to somebody who you think, oh, I know somebody who'll benefit from watching this. And in that way, you can help us grow. And that's a really good way to help your practice along as well. So just wanted to drop that in on you in case that's something that you might find useful. Take care of yourself again, and I'll see you soon. Bye.